the heat. You're feeling the pressure, the discomfort of the decisions that you're making from your business, and you're being pushed by that. Keep pressing forward, because the people whose lives are going to be changed by the message that you have and the way that you want to serve them and love on them is so very worth it. And someday you're going to look back on this and you're going to see this as just a chapter in your story that boosted you to where you're at. All right, I'm done.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you're going to do amazing. We have no doubt in you at all. So, okay, a couple questions here. People are wondering, did you ever hear about Isagenix prior to Tyler sharing it with you?
No, he was, oh, that's not true. I had heard about it in passing, but I'd never known what it was. Like, I heard the name of the company, but I wasn't familiar with any of the products. I had actually been exposed to a company called Advocare. I'm going to try and mumble that. So you guys may or may not be familiar with that, but that's who I had been exposed to before. And that's who, so when I heard of Isagenix, I kind of saw some commonalities, but was very quickly educated by Tyler that they're all frauds and we shouldn't listen to any of them. So,
well, and
I'm kidding. He didn't say that.
That's funny. We do have a lot of chiropractors on our team, and I actually love working with them because they have the holistic approach to health as you do. And I love that. A lot of them have either partnered with or know about standard process, but Isagenix might be new. And people are saying, can I bring you to my chiropractor tomorrow? But one of the questions was, can you share your story, how you entered the field of chiropractic? Because not all chiropractors get nutrition at the level you do. That's one of the questions.
Yeah, that's a great question. For me, chiropractic was more about a means to an end. And I've always said that if I found a career that allowed me to connect with people in a more intimate way, in a more impactful way, and leave a lasting impression on them, that helped me do that better than chiropractic, I'd leave this profession and my years of education and my years of experience behind in a flash to follow that. It's always been about pursuing people and real and meaningful impact in people's lives. And I found growing up that healthcare for me, it touched that chord in my heart. That was the best way to do that. I mean, what other profession, guys, can we get people that come to us in their greatest hour of need, in their greatest insecurities, in the things that they'd never talked to anybody else about? And we can bypass all the cultural norms and we can get right to the heart of the matter, to where their real identity crisis is. And we can really help them where it matters most. That's why healthcare mattered to me. And chiropractic just seemed like the best way to do that, as it is, it's the fastest growing healthcare profession in the world. It's a true departure from the medical model and back to the natural roots of where health and healing came from. And that just clicked for me and made sense for me. I will say that for any of you guys that are wondering, why doesn't my chiropractor get this? It's been a transition for me. And I will tell you that for most chiropractors, what's most important for them is their brand. They're very protective of their brand of chiropractic, whatever that looks like. And so I think that's where your personal relationship, what sold me on Isagenix and the value of it was not the fact that Tyler wanted to sell it out of my office. In fact, if he would have approached me with that same slant, he would have probably gotten the cold shoulder as well from me. What helped convert me to listening to that message and wanting to understand and know more about it was really just his desire to come alongside of me as a friend first. And then in those conversations, I was the one that was pushing to inquire more and more about it, because he talked about the fact that he was like growing his career and all this stuff, but was kind of like an international man of mystery when it came to like telling me exactly what he was doing to make that happen. So I wanted to know more about it. So I would say for those of you guys who are frustrated, maybe that your chiropractor is not an early adopter of this, the biggest thing is just keep loving on them. And love them to the point where they're asking you more, as opposed to you're the one constantly bringing up that conversation.
Yeah. I love that you said that, because I find, there's always an exception to this, but so much of what we do is based on building relationships with people. And it can be a stranger that we meet, or it can be someone that we really, really want to work with. So the more Tyler got to know you, the more he was hopeful that you guys would be able to partner together. But his approach was definitely more wanting to help you as a person, as a friend. And I think that's so important. So we want, a lot of people, people want to know how can they approach their chiropractor. A lot of us want to, but let's see, I have 3 chiropractors now locally that I have worked with that are doing the products or have done the products and have brought it into their offices. And it was my relationship with them first. It wasn't that I cold marketed them and went in and tried to sell them or ask them to put Isogenics in their office. I built the relationship first with all three of them. And I think Susan can say that of Dr. Aaron. There was a relationship first before Dr. Aaron got using the program and started introducing it to her chiropractor friends. So the relationship part is definitely key.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. I'm just going to look to see if there's anything else. Great question of how do you balance both being a chiropractor and now juggling, I think they're asking, juggling Isogenics too. You know, how do you juggle all of it?
Great question. I focus on being a chiropractor and loving on people first. My first priority is always to love on people and serve them. And I do that primarily through the lens of being a chiropractor. The way that I see Isogenics potentially fitting into this new practice is by having a team member be my Isogenics specialist. And what that means is if anybody's coming to me and they have questions about diet, nutrition, anything like that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a team member who I'm going to invest in. And I've already started having interviews with a couple people that I have my eye on for this position. And we're just going to invest in them. We're going to get them educated. We're going to get Tyler and Miss Cindy just talking to them and building into them and educating them so that they can start teaching classes out of my office. So when that individual is asking me a ton of questions, I'm going to say, listen, these are all fantastic questions. You need to come to hear my team member teach about this stuff and talk about this stuff. She's a guru. And then at that point in time, she will have the ability to represent the nutritional side to them. And she becomes kind of their advocate, their health advocate for their nutrition. And so that still protects me and my brand of chiropractic. It also allows me to, kind of give people a more holistic approach and give them access, which I believe is important to those materials.
Sure. One more question that's pretty good I see here that I want to ask you before we close. What do you think is the best information to share with a chiropractor? So a lot of us are holistic people. A lot of us use chiropractors, have chiropractors we're going to. How do you see the start of this happening for us? Like what would be, you shared Tyler's story with you, but maybe give some words of advice to the people really wanting to talk to their chiropractor about it, but maybe have some trepidation around it.
Yeah, absolutely. Number one, chiropractors are people too. So we have real desires and goals and hopes just like anybody else. Don't let the DR in front of our name or DC at the end of our name, get you a little bit nervous about it. I'd say the best way to do it is to avoid the pitch if at all possible. I think it's a relationship that's built over time with them. So if it's something to where you've seen the work that they're doing in the community, you're really excited about the work they're doing in the community, just go and meet them. Hey, listen, I'm Sarah and I, wanted to meet you and I'm really excited about the work that you're doing. I have so many people that I've heard of that say you're doing amazing things. And I just wanted to say hi. I just wanted to meet you and shake your hand. Boom. That's interaction number one. That's it. You don't want anything from them. That's it. You unplug. Then maybe a little bit later, you come back and say, hey, listen, I was thinking about it the other day. I've been looking for a space in which I could teach classes. And I want to do it in a way that doesn't take away from anything that you're doing here. But is there a night of the week when you don't normally have anything going on here and I could be bringing more people into your office to see your space? If so, then that would be great. I love, maybe that's a Wednesday night. Like you're not in here anyways, and I'm going to bring all these people into your office. And if you have any materials or you want to talk to them, feel free to hop on. But if we could do that for maybe a couple months, 1 to 3 months, and just go on a trial run. If anything goes wrong, you don't like it, no harm, no foul. We stop at any time. But if I could teach some classes maybe once a month or twice a month, I'd love to do that. And your practice members can come for free. It's just a service that I'd be providing. That's another way to do it. Just something that adds value to them. I think that's the thing is if you're always asking yourself, how can I add value to this person as opposed to what can I get from them? I think you're always going to come out on the winning side.
Yeah. Amen. With anyone you talk to, guys, that's awesome. We could keep you here all night, Tim. So I can't thank you enough for your time, especially while you're traveling and making this huge, huge move in your life. And we wish you so much success in Colorado. I know your office is going to flourish just like you did here in Ohio. So thank you. And guys, I'll share the recordings with you and give you a chance to give Tim your feedback and ISA for Wealth. And we can't thank you enough, Tim.
Yes, thank you. And my information is on the end of that PowerPoint. So make sure you stay in contact. All these are great questions, but if you have more, feel free to let me know. I love being able to have this conversation with you. I appreciate you guys.
All right. Thanks so much. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Actually, next week is
Bye, guys.
Eve. We won't be, or no, hang on. We have one more week. One more week. We'll be here next week. Sorry. Oh no, it is Christmas Eve. Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk to you in the group.